welcome back to the 2018 Granny Square Crochet Along. Can you believe it is the 1st of December? My goodness. Well, actually, it's the 1st of December tomorrow for me. But I am astounded that we are in December already. My goodness. So we are on square number 334. And this is the square. Sonja's Christmas lights, designed by our very own Leah, who is one of our square testers in the group, and she designed this square herself, and it is fantastic. It's such a clever design and perfect for the holiday season, perfect for anyone who likes pretty lights. I love pretty lights, so even if you are not in the Christmas spirit, if you don't celebrate Christmas or the holidays, then just they are pretty lights and I love them. You can do them all in one colour, you could do them in every single colour. I've done them all in a different colour, every single one, and I just think it's brilliant. Love it. And I can imagine, I can actually imagine doing this and popping a clear light behind, some clear lights behind, and brightening this up on the wall. It would be fantastic. So you need your yarn and hook, and you will need several different colours, or you could probably do it with two if you're only using two colours, but yeah, grab whatever colours you fancy and let's get started. So to start today's square, you want to chain 24, and then we're going to do single crochets starting in the second chain and all the way along, so you will have 23 single crochets. If you know the chainless foundation single crochet stitch, you could of course do that and do 23 single crochets. So go ahead and chain 24 and then single crochet in the second chain and all the way along to make 23 single crochets, and I will see you when I have done mine. So I have 23 single crochet now, and it's time for row 2. So for row 2 we are going to chain 4, which counts as a treble crochet, and turn our work over. And then we're going to do a treble crochet in the next 2 stitches. So we're going to miss the very first one because our chain comes from that one, and then do a treble crochet in each of the next 2 stitches. Okay, and then chain 3 and skip 3 stitches. And then in the next one, we're going to do a treble crochet. And in each of the next 3 stitches, so there'll be 4 treble crochet in this section. Okay. There's 4 treble crochet in that section, and then we're going to repeat that down to the end, chain 3, skip 3 stitches, and then do 4 treble crochet, and then again chain 3, skip 3, and do 4 treble crochet. And on your last repeat you will have just 3 treble crochet, okay? Just 3 treble crochet, like at the beginning you have 3 treble crochet. So 3, 4, 4 and 3, and there we go. So time for row 3, and what we're going to do is we're going to drop this loop from our main colour, and you can either just pull up a nice big loop and leave that, or you can pop it in a stitch marker. So I'm just going to pull it up and leave it there, and that will be nice and safe. So what you want to do now is get a colour that you're going to do your lights in, and you will need 3 for this row, or 3 for each row. This is a good time for using up some of your scrap yarn, so if you've got small pieces of yarn left over from other projects, it's a great one for using those up. So I have lots of sort of scrap bits of yarn, these sort of small bits that I've rolled up, so good chance to use those. Okay, so I have turned my work over, so I've now got my loop on this side from the previous row, and I've joined the colour for my light in the 3rd treble crochet along. So we've got 1, 2, 3, and I joined it in the top of the 3rd treble crochet. Okay, and then when you joined your colour, you want to chain 1. Okay, and then we're going to make treble crochets into the middle chain of these 3 skipped ones here, so the middle one. So we're going to make 4 treble crochets over this chain and into that space, or into that middle stitch. Okay, so 4 treble crochets into there. Okay, now if you are doing your lights all in one colour, you want to chain 3. If you are changing colour, you want to chain 1 and slip stitch in the top of the next treble crochet and fasten that colour off. So I'm going to fasten this colour off. Okay, so for your next light bulb, you want to join your new colour into the last treble crochet of the next set. So join it into this last treble crochet, and then you're going to do exactly the same of chain 1 and then 4 treble crochet in this middle single crochet. Okay, and then chain 1 and slip stitch into your the next treble crochet. Okay, or chain 3 if you're keeping the same colour. If you're keeping the same colour, just do your chain 3 in between and then go straight ahead and do your 4 treble crochet. Okay, and then you're going to do the same for the last bulb and slip stitch into your last this treble crochet here. And if you've been doing a chain 3, then that's where you need to fasten off your yarn. Okay, so I'm going to do my next 2 bulbs and then I'll get back to you. Just to say quickly, your last bulb, don't fasten off, just do your slip stitch and then keep that same colour on your hook, and I will come back to you because we're then going to do the tops. Okay, so I have my 3 Christmas light colours, and I'm going to turn my work around and we are going to slip stitch over into the first treble crochet and then chain 3, and then we're going to do a double crochet 4 together over these 4 stitches. So that's when we do our yarn over, go into the stitch, yarn over, pull 3, yarn over, pull through 2 and leave the last loop on the hook. And then we do that into the next stitch and the next one and the last one. There we go. So you will have 5 loops on the hook, 1 for each stitch and 1 for the hook. And then yarn over and pull through all 5 and chain 3. And then you're going to slip stitch back down into this last treble crochet just down here. Okay, so slip stitch into there where you did your last part of our double crochet 4 together. And there we go. And then you are going to fasten off that colour if you're changing colour. If you're not changing colour, then just chain 3 and go straight across to your next light. So I'll show you this once more. I'm just going to fasten off this colour and then I will show you this once more on our next light. Okay, I've rejoined the colour of my next light. Now, I don't know if you can hear any of the noise from outside here, but I've got some neighbours letting off some fireworks. It is now the end of November and they are letting fireworks off, so if you can hear some bangs, then that's what's going on. Okay, so join your colour into the first treble crochet of your lights, and if you are doing the same colour, then just do your 3 chains and then slip stitch into this first stitch. And then exactly the same, we're going to chain 3, and then we are going to do a double crochet 4 together over the next 4 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, and the last one is a little tricky. 4, and yarn over and pull through all 5 loops, and then do another chain 3 and a slip stitch into the first treble crochet at the bottom here. So slip stitch into there and fasten off. And that is that. So I'm going to leave you to do that for your last light bulb. Okay, and then I will see you when I've done my last light bulb. So here we go at the end of that row. We have our lights, and I know there's lots of yarn tails going on if you've changed colour, but they can soon be sewn in. Just put a good TV show on or something and sew those in. So if you can ignore those, if they're bothering you, then just sew them in now and get rid of them before you move on to the next row. But we are going to move on to the next row, so turn your work around so that you've got your loop of your main colour at the right side, and we are going to chain 4 as our first treble crochet, and then we're going to do a treble crochet into each of the next 2 stitches. So this next stitch will be shared with your slip stitch of your light. Okay, and then you want to chain 1, and then you're going to do a single crochet in the back loop of your double crochet 4 together. So into the top of here, if I can show you, here is the double crochet 4 together, just here, and you want to go into just the back loop of that to do your single crochet. There we go, and then chain 1, and then you're going to do a treble crochet in each of the next 4 stitches. So again, your first one will be shared with that slip stitch. And just go ahead and just try not to get caught up with all these tails, and then do one in the next, and the next one, and the last one will have your slip stitch in. So just keep that aside and complete the stitch. Somehow I've only done that slip stitch into the one loop. Never mind, correct that one as we work. So there we go. Okay, so a bit fiddly working over all these ends and keeping them out of the way. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing here for this light by chaining 1, doing a single crochet in the back loop of your double crochet 4 together. So just that back loop, chain 1, and then you're going to do your next 4 treble crochets, and then chain 1 and do your single crochet in the back loop, and chain 1 and do a treble crochet in each of the next 3, and this last one it will be into your top chain. Okay, so repeat that and I'll see you at the end of this row. Okay, so there we go. Once you've done that row of your treble crochets and single crochets there, you're going to do a nice simple row. You're going to chain 1 and turn your work, and then do a single crochet into each single crochet along, 1 into each along here, and then at the end of the row chain 1 and do another row of single crochets all the way back along. Okay, so 1 single crochet all the way along, chain 1 and 1 single crochet all the way back, and I will see you after I've done these 2 rows of single crochet. And I just forgot to say quickly that you're going to do 1 single crochet over in each chain space. So when you've got your chain 1, single crochet, chain 1, make sure you do a single crochet in each chain space. Okay. Okay, so here's what we have after our 2 rows of single crochet, and we're going to chain 4 now. We're going to do another row of treble crochets and chains to set up ready to do another row of lights. So we're going to chain 4 as our first treble crochet, turn your work around and then do 2 treble crochets, 1 in each of the next 2 stitches. And chain 3. And then you're going to do 1 treble crochet, we're going to skip 3 stitches and then do treble crochet in each of the next 4 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. Chain 3, skip 3 stitches and do 4 treble crochets along. That's a double crochet. Okay, you're going to repeat this to the end. Your last treble crochets will just be 3 treble crochets. Okay, so repeat this along, and it will be above your last stitches here and here. So I'll see you at the end of this row. And there we go at the end of that row, row 8. So what you're going to do now is pull up a loop or pop it into a stitch marker, and then you're going to turn your work around and you're going to do the next 3 lights, and you're going to do it in exactly the same way as down here. And I'll try and either pop, as I'm recording this, I'm saying to myself, I'm going to try and pop something on screen to tell you this is where the lights repeat. Or if that isn't the case, then in the description box below, I will pop a note to say what time you need to rewind back to see how to do these lights if you don't remember. Okay, so have a look at that, which I will pop up at the end of the video that when I've finished recording, and then rewind back to see how to do your lights. Okay, so once I've done these lights, I will get back to you. Okay, so I've done that row of lights and I've popped all my tails to the back so you can see a bit better how this is shaping up. So here we go. You can see how it's looking a lot more Christmas lightish now. Lightish. Lighty. So we're now going to do another row of the treble crochets that we put in between the lights. So like these ones down here. So here's what we have for our lights so far. So we just need to now attach them all to some wire. Lights are normally attached to each other to give them their power, and we're going to give them the little sort of toppers that they have to connect them to the wire. So I've joined my yarn into the top left corner. I'm going to flip my work around and going to chain 7. Now if you work more tightly, you might want to do more chains. If you work loosely, you might want to do less. The amount of chains is kind of approximate really. And then you want to, into this front loop here, remember we left the front loop when we worked into the back loop of our light colour. Into there you want to do 3 double crochets. So I'm just going to turn this upside down. It's a bit fiddly, but it's absolutely fine. So into there you're going to do 3 double crochet into that loop. Now let's find that loop. There we go. Okay, so 3 double crochet into that front loop. This just makes our little topper for our lights. There we go. And then you're going to chain 10, which is going to take you over to the top of the next light. Now, this chain is designed to be a bit sort of drapey and not completely straight and tight. If you don't like having a lot of drape, you can chain a couple and then go into a stitch to secure it and then continue your chain. If I show you here, so we're going to chain 10. So I'm going to chain 5 and then I'm just going to see whereabouts that lands, and I'm just going to secure it into this stitch here and continue with my next 5 chains. 2, 3, 4, 5, and then do 3 double crochet in that front loop of your next light. I hope you can see what I'm doing. I know I'm sort of moving my work all around the place here, but sometimes that's kind of what you need to do to get to the right angle and in the right place. So there we go. If I turn this around now, you can see it from the right way. So I've got my chain just secured here, and the next one I'm going to show you with if I leave the chain loose. Okay, so we're going to chain 10 again. 7, 8, 9, 10, and I'm just going to leave that one loose to drape and do my 3 double crochet in the front loop. So just find that front loop and do those 3 double crochet. Okay, and that's how it looks. So we've got a loose chain here, and you could always go back to it and just pop a little piece of yarn through from the back and just secure it down there if you don't like it being loose like that. Okay, so this is what it looks like with our toppers and our chains for the wire. So what we're going to do is, to get around this corner, we're going to chain 15. Again, if that's too loose for you, just do a bit less. So do what you think. I'm going to do 12 rather than 15. That might be enough. Let's have a look. Let's bring it down and see. No, let's do a couple more. I might secure it down here somewhere actually. Just secure it down here. Let's give it a bit of a bend. Secure it here somewhere. Okay. And then continue with another 3 and go down to my light, which I'm going to do though 3 double crochet in the top of my light. So that loop is just there. Sometimes these loops go a bit small and you might have to wiggle your hook through, but just give it some encouragement and it'll be fine. 2 and 3. There we go. Okay, so this is what it looks like so far. I just realised they are backwards because we're going the other way. So I'm going to need to work from the bottom this time. So just be aware of that, of which way up it's going to be, where your stitches are going to be, because I just had mine the wrong way. So let's just do those three. You can tell that I haven't practiced this one before. I usually do have a bit of a practice, but I didn't on this one. So this is what it looks like down there. Okay, and then just continue along with about 10 chains in between each light, and then do your 3 double crochet in the tops, and then around a corner you want about 15, and then when you get to this last one you'll need about 7 to then bring it down to the bottom and fasten off. Okay, so just continue that and I'll see you when I've finished mine. And there we go. So I think I'm just going to use my needle when I'm sewing in my yarn ends and just sort of secure a couple of these bigger ones down a little, which is what I've done with these all the way along now. So I love the look of this. It's yeah, I mean, I like pretty lights any time of the year, not just at sort of Christmas and holiday times. So love it, love it. So yes, there's a load of yarn to sew in, but just make a cup of tea, pop the TV on and sew them in and they'll be done in no time. Or you could just pop them all in the centre and then get some fabric and pop on the back and just sew the fabric around the edge and leave all those yarns in the centre and just forget about them. That's one thing you could do. So I hope you've enjoyed making this square and you found this useful and helpful, and I can't wait to see your pretty lights, photos of them in our group album. The link to the group is in the description below as always. So if you found this useful and helpful and you've enjoyed crocheting along with me, then please click the like button just down there and give us a thumbs up. It does mean a lot. We're very grateful for that. So until next time, just keep hooking and don't let your tea get cut.